It's no hidden secret that one of the biggest crazes to sweep the world of gaming over the past year has been all about Battle Royale. But now that we're over a year since PUBG released into early access, and almost a year since Fortnite released their Battle Royale mode, people might be looking for something new. That's where Reign of Elysium comes in. And the changes they have implemented might change Battle Royale forever. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the 5 best features in Reign of Elysium. Number 5. Beware the Avalanche. Usually in a Battle Royale game, the environment is just sort of somewhere that you exist. It's where the game takes place. You go around from location to location, picking up loot and killing your enemies, but as far as the map is concerned, that's pretty much it. It just exists and you play on it. Nothing more, nothing less. That isn't true in Reign of Elysium. In Reign of Elysium, there is more than just one map, and one of the maps in the game is called Mount Dionne. Located in what seems to be an American mountain town, Mount Dionne is full of surprises, but you need to be careful during your exploration of the area, because it is possible for a massive avalanche to come along and wipe part of the map away. And if you are on that part of the map, you will get wiped away with it. It's pretty interesting for a Battle Royale mode to not just push you in with circles and zones, but to dynamically wipe away entire areas of the map as the game progresses, taking out players if they find themselves in the area as well. In some ways, it actually reminds me of the Hunger Games movie, which a lot of Battle Royale games seem to take inspiration from. In that series of books and films, the contestants were not pushed together by an indestructible wall of damage. Instead, contestants were forced into confrontation by the area itself. Areas of forest would burst into flames, or strange mutated creatures would be released. It feels like this is the kind of feel Reign of Elysium is trying to capture with the avalanche on Mount Dionne. And it really works. Number 4. Heal on the move. One of the most annoying things in any other Battle Royale is getting stuck in a gunfight and then ending up dying even though you have a whole bunch of meds on you. In games like PUBG and Fortnite Battle Royale, when you try to heal yourself or use other kinds of consumables, you have to be standing still. Sure, you can trick the game into thinking that you are standing still but move forward by a couple of inches a second, but that's not exactly movement that's going to get you out of a pinch, is it? Luckily, you don't have to worry about anything like that in Reign of Elysium. Unlike those other games, you can actually walk as you take consumables in this game. You do slow down a bit. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you've been shot up and you have to put up a bunch of bandages over the wounds, you aren't exactly going to be running around like an Olympic-class athlete anymore, are you? The difference between having to stand still while healing and being able to move around a bit is pretty big. Like you're healing up and then someone throws a grenade into your room. In some games, you have 2 choices. Stop healing and try to run away, or keep healing and get blown up. Why would you pick that one, but whatever. In Reign of Elysium, you can do both, and it's something that can really change up the flow of a gunfight. Number 3. Getting sporty. One of the key features of a Battle Royale game is the size of a map. Maps in the genre tend to be big, wide, open expanses filled to the brim with tons of players. Pretty much all Battle Royale games have vehicles that allow you to speed up your movement from one side of the map to the other, and while Reign of Elysium is no exception, I would say that getting around the map using vehicles like the game's big monster truck wheeled car is actually the more boring way of getting around. Why use a car when you can use extreme sports to get yourself around? Because what better time to break out a snowboard than when you're being hunted down by a bunch of other people, eh? Or better yet, leap off the side of Mount Dionne with a hand glider to get the drop on your opponents. Stealthily flank your enemies by climbing up the side of cliff faces with an ice axe. These are all ways to get around the map in Reign of Elysium, and it makes the game feel a whole lot more unique. It also makes great use of the mountain setting they chose for the second map in the game. Again, maps are usually just places that Battle Royale games happen in. You don't really get games that really immerse themselves in the area like Reign of Elysium seems to be doing. Number 2. Choose your drop. Spawning into a Battle Royale game is usually pretty simple. Some sort of vehicle flies over the entirety of the map, and you jump out of it when you come to the part of the map that you want to play on. Honestly, it's a pretty long and drawn-out affair, so it might actually be a good thing that Tencent have totally changed up the spawning mechanics in Reign of Elysium. Now, I'm not sure if this is just on the Mount Dionne map, because during the first beta, you got to spawn in off of a plane before hand gliding down to the ground like you would in other games. But in the most recent playtest of the game, you instead spawned from a menu. This menu had a bunch of set spawn locations that you could choose to spawn from, and when you did, you would just spawn on the ground already. Not only that, you already have a weapon. These 2 seemingly small changes actually go a long way to increase the pace of the game. You don't have to spend all those minutes looking for your first weapon before getting into an engagement, and you don't have to worry about free-falling quickly down to the ground either. Faster-paced games are always a good thing. More pace means more rapid-fire action, and I would rather spend my time in the middle of gunfights than in mid-air looking for a good place to drop. Number 1. A new way to win. The way to win in a Battle Royale game has always seemed to be a sacred and unchangeable thing. No matter what Battle Royale game you play, the winner is always the last guy alive. The one that has survived longer than anyone is the one that manages to get the win. Arena of Elysium takes that idea, gives it a good look, and then throws it away altogether. In the most recent playtest on Mount Dionne, we see a brand new way of getting the win. And it isn't just limited to a single person, it's limited to 4 people. That's right, even in a game of solos, 4 people can walk away with the win. Instead of the map converging on a single point of the zone pressing in on all sides to force an engagement, Arena of Elysium ends with the helicopter. When the chopper appears on the map, the remaining players have to make a mad dash for it, and 4 people are allowed to jump into the seats. The moment you get into the chopper, you get the victory, and anyone who is left behind will fall to Mount Dionne. I think the new win condition might actually be one of my favorite things about Arena of Elysium. There are so many things that can change in a Battle Royale game to make it unique and interesting. But pretty much no game developer has experimented with changing the very fundamental concept of winning the game. It's always been you try to survive until you're the last one standing. To have an actual objective in this game, escape the map through the helicopter, instead of just senseless murder, is seriously refreshing. And I hope in future maps they experiment with even more interesting win conditions. There's so many possibilities. Which would be cool, because if you see the map and you're loading into it and you're like, oh no, it's this map, I have to do this now, But hey, I'm just saying. So that was our video on the top 5 best features in Arena of Elysium. Are you a fan of the game? If you are, do you think we got this list right? Leave a comment down below to let us know. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for even more awesome gaming content.